Hello, good morning. Welcome to the meditation live stream. This is Scott. Here on my channel, we're working with the four dimensions of our being: our body, our emotions, our mind, our relationships. And we're using awareness as the proprietary gift that is given to all of us human beings. Awareness is the key to growth in these different dimensions. And if you think about sort of your consciousness as your surface level, maybe personality, it's really awareness that includes that surface, but also the sky and also the endless depth of the ocean of our being. And from this we have a greater kind of understanding of these dimensions, and from that understanding is a kind of perspective that allows these dimensions to grow, allows them to develop. And it can happen throughout all life that we develop. We don't just stop at age 18. You know, like school would have us believe that we're kind of fully cooked at 18. You can continue on developing throughout your whole life. And there are plenty of exemplars of this. The great men and women that have come before us or live now who continue to develop themselves. And I like to think of it as getting a little bit closer to that divine spark in each of us in such a way with which that it permeates these dimensions of our being, the real light, the light of awareness. And so here on my channel I like to give a brief talk, and then we'll get into a guided practice. Today we'll go for about a half an hour total. And I want to talk a little bit today about peace. I've been wanting peace in the world since the different wars have broken out. You know, the conflicts in the world are, I think, inevitable. But what about war? You know, is war a necessary item? And I tend to think that because I'm anti-war as a kind of practitioner, I don't really subscribe or endorse violence or bloodshed in the name of it's sort of like the opposite. You know, bringing peace through violence doesn't make sense to me. But the question really kind of comes into being like, you know, we want peace, and hopefully this peace will extend and ripple out. And we will learn from our military actions in the future. This kind of learning, I think, is built into humanity should we choose it. Should we choose to learn from our actions. And each of us can choose to learn from our actions in our life. And one of the interesting things I've heard spiritual teacher Thomas Hubel talk about is that if you don't feel what you're doing to others, you don't really learn from that. There's sort of an absence there. And so it takes a collective resonance to create the conditions necessary for others and ourselves to feel what it is that we are doing. And the analogy I like to use, and I talked about this yesterday, is like driving a car. You know, you can drive your car erratically, and if you don't feel how others are feeling, you are absent to the impact of your choices on others. So you may feel like you are free to do whatever you like on the road, and really you are absent to the consequences of your actions. It's you know, it's like we don't live in a vacuum. We don't live in a world where there are no others. You know, some of the spiritual material out there says there are no others. This is false. The world is filled with other people, and it is also spiritual, in my opinion, to consider others and how our actions impact ourselves and other people. So, that being said, we'll begin now. with practice. We'll begin with the Donna Eden technique, crossing, your feet at the ankles, bringing your hands up into your chest. We can begin the practice of cleansing our energy body on the in-breath, breathing in through your nose and then out through your mouth. And you can feel the energy building up into your hands. Very good. We'll do 3 more. Great. And coming out of that, and then flicking away from your body, discharging that energy, you can feel a release in your hands. And bringing your hands into prayer position. And you can repeat after me if you like, either out loud or quietly to yourself. I release all energies, thoughts, emotions, intentions, and frequencies that are not mine back to Source. I release the impact both on my personal effects and my environment, all thoughts, energies, emotions, intentions, and frequencies that are not mine back to Source. Wonderful. And then coming into practice now, gently with your eyes closed, placing your attention on your physical body, noticing your body and your body sensations. You can notice your body's subtle movement, temperature, tingling and pulsing, sense of aliveness, presence, connection. You can feel your body's contact with the earth underneath you, supporting you, your connection with the planet. We can begin the practice of feeling and softening. On the in-breath, feeling your body. Then on the out-breath, softening and melting down through your body and into the earth. And the softening and the melting can be like this light, this healing light or this healing honey, that as it travels down through your body, it collects all the impurities, cleansing, healing, purifying. And as it travels into the earth receives that energy and recycles and transforms it. And with each cycle of breath, you get a little bit lighter, a little bit brighter, and you melt just a little bit deeper into the earth. Feeling and softening is a very useful practice in times of stress or overwhelm. You can always come back to feeling and softening into the earth. And bringing your attention up now into your heart, the center of your chest, you can imagine as though you're breathing directly in and out of your heart. And on the in-breath, feeling your heart space. Then on the out-breath, softening and expanding your heart. Coming in contact with your emotions, you can notice what's present for you emotionally right now. And without trying to fix or change or get rid of your emotions, just allowing yourself to feel a little bit in the shared space. You could be feeling any of the 5 main cardinal emotions, like points on a compass, I like to say, giving your life a direction. You could also be feeling numb, which is another valid emotional experience. bringing your attention up now into your head. You can imagine as though you're breathing directly in and out of your head, and on the in-breath, feeling your head, and then on the out-breath, softening in and around your skull. If you like, you can imagine as though you're breathing into your third eye space, between your eyebrows or your crown, the top of your head, whichever feels correct for you, and just feeling and softening in and around your head. And coming in contact with your thoughts, you can notice how busy or active your mind is. And without interfering with your mind, allowing your mind to come and go, without getting caught up in actively thinking. And remember, if you do find yourself actively thinking, you can always practice returning, as I like to call it, returning to your body, feeling your spine, for grounding and anchoring into the earth. Very good. And from here, we can gently open our eyes, gently opening your eyes, keeping your eyes soft. We'll take a moment together to appreciate all that practice we just did with our eyes closed. And we'll now practice in the relational space, the space of outside and inside. Every relation has an outside part and an inside part, and it's useful to practice in these different spaces. So on the in-breath, practicing feeling around you, the space outside you. And then on the out-breath, feeling inside you, the space interior to you. And just noticing the difference, feeling outside on the in-breath, and then back inside on the out-breath. And from here, if you like, you can add in qualities to your practice, qualities of love, compassion, gratitude, forgiveness. Sometimes you can find one or two or three or all four qualities. It's up to you to resonate with. So on the in-breath, we practice sending the quality, and then on the out-breath, receiving the quality. So on the in-breath, feeling love, compassion, gratitude, forgiveness around you. And then on the out-breath, love, compassion, gratitude, forgiveness toward yourself. And just practice offering up the qualities on the in-breath and then receiving them on the out-breath. Wonderful. And then from here we can set our prayers and our intentions for the day. I'll be quiet. You can do yours first. May this work that we do transform our life, offering up healing and blessings and ripple out into the community, transforming our culture and our systems. Amen. Wonderful, thank you so much. Remember, when we give ourselves the gift of awareness, there is no sacrifice, there is no giving up of anything. Indeed, we're coming in contact with the real light, the light of awareness. Have an awesome day, and I'll see you again.